Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Revant. Today we're gonna build a gaming PC around price range of 70k INR or 1000 USD. And for this rig we are using Gigabyte Ultra Durable B250M motherboard. And for CPU we are using Core i5-7600 Kaby Lake architected Intel processor. And for GPU we are using GeForce GTX 1060 6GB version. All these things are VR ready, so for future proofing it will be perfect. For PSU we are using Thermaltake 650 watts version, and for storage we are using WD 1TB Blue hard drive. For RAM we are using 8GB G.Skill Ripjaw. Now let's get into building process. After opening the box, first thing you will find are SATA cables which are right across on the top. They provided two different SATA cables. One is L-shaped and other one is plain. The cable length is moderate. They covered the entire board with anti-static cover so that any static electricity from your hands won't affect transistors on the board. Here you can take a good look how the board looks from the top angle. After removing it from the static cover, you can take a look. There's a protective cover on the board which you can remove like this. I think ambient LED will pass through this thing. Here's a neat look of each and every components on the board. Here's the CPU socket for DDR4 RAM slots, SATA cables, SATA slots, front panel slots, USB 3.0 and 2.0 slots, PCI Express slots, the entire back panel of the board, including at the top you can see the CPU. If you flip over motherboard, you can see ambient LED passing through back of the board, which will glow once power supply is connected to the board. Now let's check on accessories. There's a back panel which is made of steel. The quality of the panel is okay, not bad. They also provided a Gigabyte driver CD along with manual. The manual will help in connecting front panel. Now let's unbox the processor. I chose Core i5-7600 Kaby Lake architecture Intel processor for this thing. The performance of the processor is pretty good according to my research. Once we open the seal, you can see clearly the processor is present on the top side of the box. We have to remove it carefully. Make sure that it won't fall off the thing. There's a small manual. We don't need it now. It comes with Intel stock cooler with pre-applied thermal paste. Carefully take out the stock fan without touching the thermal paste thing. It is pre-applied, so there's no need to apply again. Once we take out the stock cooler, we can carefully remove the below cardboard so that the processor will be free. Oh, they jammed it so tightly, man. This packing is so strong. Intel does a very good job protecting the processors so that they don't fall on stock coolers or fall out of the case in worst case. Once you remove the CPU from cardboard, carefully read what's written on it, whether it matches your model number or not. Now let's do the major part, which is putting CPU in the socket. Carefully bend the side pin of the socket, CPU socket on the motherboard. Don't apply too much pressure. There is a protective cover on the top you can remove it before or after placement. Never touch the pins, never ever touch the pins of both CPU and motherboard socket. Always grab the CPU by sides. It's one of the most important thing to do, because any damage, any minor damage which occurs to processor cannot be replaced and it hurts like hell. Carefully place the CPU in CPU socket. While placing, you can notice there's two holes on each sides of socket which will fit right into the processor. Here you can see it again. Place the socket right in middle of the nut, then slowly bend the pin. After placing CPU, I have seen many wiggle the processor or try to moving it. Don't do it. If there's any dirt on the processor, remove it with an earbud or cloth. Don't use your hands. Carefully install stock cooler onto CPU. Always press on diagonal sides. Once you pressed enough, you will hear a click and the screws will turn in clockwise direction. In the back you can clearly see them. The black thing in the middle must come out. Once you are sure it's fixed properly, connect the power for stock cooler on the right side of the board. Make sure it fits properly. Let us install 8GB G.Skill ZipJar RAM. It comes with a nice cover. Installing RAM is one of the easiest process. All you have to do is unhook both sides of the RAM slot, insert the RAM properly. All you have to do is match the slit. Once it's pressed properly, you will hear a click and the lock will automatically come up. Now let's unbox Thermaltake N26 cabinet. It's a mid-tower ATX. It supports mini ATX also. It has a left transparent window. It can handle up to 5 fans, one along the back, 2 on the top, 2 on the front. The model we bought comes with only 1 fan, so we bought 2 other components. There's a look of inside. It supports cable management also. The hard drives can be placed beautifully in this cabinet. There's a pile of front panel wires along with USB cables. One of the great things from this cabinet is cable management can be done very freely. If properly done, it will be effective. Now let us take a look of SATA slots. It has 3 HDD slots. Thermaltake arranged screws for the cabinet so beautifully. All the useful screws are present in this box, which is fixed in an HDD slot. These are removable slots, so it is easy to access them. Now let's take a look on front panel wires. These are HDD LED, power reset buttons. How to connect them will be in motherboard manual. Now let's install Circle 90mm case fans on this thing. These 2 are blue LED case fans which will look amazing on this board. There's a manual or warranty card. in this thing, we don't need that now. There's also screws on this thing, which we will build in a minute. After pulling from the front, you can easily remove the front panel of this cabinet. Once it's removed, and we also already installed the top one. It can have two fans in the front. We are using the center one. There are two types of screws which comes into play. The long ones are used for the front one and the small ones are used for the top one. Here you can take a look. Let's unbox 650 watts Thermaltake 80 plus standard PSU power supply. There's some warranty cards and manuals. We don't need that now. It comes with bundle of wires. This is a non-modular one. If you want more customizability, you can go for modular one, but its price is high. Here you can see the power on. Always check the series number and model number of the. There is a 24-pin power connector. These are PCI Express slots, which are used for GPU powering and any other sound card powering. SATA cables for hard drives and solid state drives. These are extra power unit. It can be used for case fans and etc. And this is the CPU power. Carefully place the SMPS on the bottom of the cabinet in the allotted slot. And screw it down diagonally. Let's unbox WD 1TB blue hard drive. After cutting open the cover, you can see quite heavy for that matter. Now carefully take out the drive and never touch the backboard of the drive. Here you can see 1 TB. Check for the model number. Press lightly on both sides of the HDD slot. It will come out. Now place the screws on the both sides. Carefully, don't apply too much pressure, it will break the plastic tray. After making sure it's fitted properly on both sides, you are good to go. Place it slowly and once you hear a click, you are good. Connect the SATA and power cables to the HDD drive. Make sure you don't apply too much pressure on the cables. Let's install motherboard into the cabinet. Make sure you align all the holes properly before doing anything, because any bend on the board will be catastrophic. Once the board is placed successfully and you can see all the holes properly, you can fix it with the screws. Always fix the motherboard or anything for that matter diagonally so the thing won't fall or never fix the screws too tightly, it may cause damage to the board. Now let's unbox GTX 1060 6GB NVIDIA GPU. After opening the box, you will find a thank you note from MSI. It's a nice gesture. And there's also an anti-static cover on this GPU. We bought a 2-fan version of the 1060. The price is only 1K extra. Carefully take out the beast out of the box. Be careful and don't apply too much pressure on the transistors and pins. The accessories include a driver CD and manual. After removing the protective cover on the bottom, make sure you place the GPU properly. After removing the back panel of the cabinet, carefully place on PCI Express slot port. After opening the latch, press it down. You will clearly hear a click. Make sure you provide power to GPU also while powering a motherboard. Once the latch is back on, you are good to do it down with a screwdriver. After connecting the front panel and wire management, carefully close the left window of the cabinet. And screw it down. Once everything is done, now it's time to power up the beast. We are using APC backup UPS 600 volts. After removing the thermocol, you can find the top of the UPS. The finish on the UPS is very good. The side vents are for air circulation. It has 3 sockets on the back and this power cable. It has air vents on both sides of the UPS. There's another look of the bottom. Here's another look of the front. There's a power button, recharge button and the indicator for charging. Now it's show time. We just powered on the UPS. Now it's system's turn. We just powered it on. Oh, there it is. There it is. The blue LED on front. And the blue LED on top. Both are working great. And the ambient LED is awesome. Wow, behind the board is awesome. Now we are here, it's working great. Here are the configurations: 7600 CPU and the RAM 8GB, motherboard B250, everything is working fine. Graphics, yeah, 6GB 1060, awesome. Storage 1TB WD, everything is working great. Let's take a performance benchmark. Now we are playing WWE 2K17 just for a test course. Everything's looking up. The frame rate is around 60, which is great. Thank you guys for watching this. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe for more. Peace. Thank you.